the board and the community of Masjid El Sharif for our first mental health stigma program that will be hosted by Sister Charmaine Holland. We'll open with some recitation from the Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal asr, inna al-insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bis-sabr. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Verily, by time, men are lost, except for those who come together with mutual teachings of truth and understanding, belief. We ask Allah to bless this gathering. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let us learn that which is beneficial and let us benefit from that in which we learn. We know that this month is Mental Health Month throughout this nation. And we know that there are many persons in many communities that have issues with understanding mental health and all of its components. And we want to begin to allow our communities to know that it is okay to learn about mental health and nothing to be ashamed of if they have family members that are having mental health concerns or issues, that there are different resources that are available. And this is what's going to be a part of this opportunity for the next 6 months. We will have a series of sessions dealing with mental health in ways in which you can address it, and ways in which the resources can be made accessible and available to you. I will bring on the hostess for this program, Sister Charmaine Holland, who will give you an overview of the program as well as some history about herself and some of the things that Allah is blessing her with. We welcome all of those who are here in the physical sense, and we welcome all of those who are following us on our streaming platforms. May you continue to support us. May you continue to gather and learn and have your family to be with you, learning about this very, very important, very significant issue that is confronting our nation outside of even the pandemic. But we know that through the last 2 years, even more mental health concerns have risen. And again, we want to do our part as a service to the community by hosting this program. Sister Charmaine.
Thank you, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you for coming out. And Imam, thank you for the opportunity, for allowing me to be able to be here and share the work that I'm doing out in the community. And Sister Ruby, thank you for connecting with me as well, so we can help other families on the inside as well, the families on the outside. So I thank you very much, everybody, for the opportunity of being here. It says a lot, it speaks volume for those who's here and those who's watching, because it allows us the opportunity to want to make change. And the only way change is going to happen is by us stepping up to the plate and make things happen. For me, my background, I am a motivated speaker, an author, a life coach, and I've been helping women for the past 30 years. Didn't know I was in training, but God has allowed me to touch women's hearts, and as they come to me on a regular basis, see me out in the world, they ask me questions, and I just help and guide them. And now that I'm inside of the prison, I go to the prison every week, and when I go to the prison, I hear their stories, and their stories just touch me in such a way where I feel like there's nothing I can really do to help them. So propelled me to be able to be here and to be able to push forward with this mental health. And because May is mental health, what a best time to start this here program of trying every month to be able to bring awareness to the community as well as families, to try to help our loved ones if they're going through something, to see what can we do with the resources that's available with the community, of giving some guidance. I'll share one of the stories about me being in a prison, which really kind of spearheaded this. Was a woman, she didn't know. And I wrote a saying that says she didn't know. And what happened is that sometimes in life, we get to a situation where, we deal with family, and family, life gets busy and we don't pay attention to certain things that our children is not aware of, or even our grown folks is not aware of. And this particular young lady, she happened to be at the gym. And, she had a membership and she had a little disagreement with a young lady at the gym. And I'm not sure exactly how it escalated, but the gym members said, hey, you have to leave. And, she was like, well, why do I have to leave? I got my membership. And she's still puzzled, wondering why she got to leave the gym. She wasn't understanding. So eventually the people at the gym realized, okay, this must be an issue because she's not understanding. She don't want to leave. And we try to tell her, it's time for you to go. So she leaves and she get into her car and she's still puzzled. And then an officer came and told her to get out of her car. But he had a gun drawn to her because he didn't know what she was doing in the car. He's protecting himself. And then she looks for a screwdriver and pulls out a screwdriver because now she's threatened. She's afraid, thinking the officer is going to kill her or hurt her. So she pulls out a screwdriver. And I said, why did you pull out a screwdriver? She said, I didn't know. I was afraid of my life. And I'm thinking, to this day, she's sitting in there, don't know what she did wrong, And I was like, wow. And I said, okay, somewhere something happened that somebody didn't give her proper guidance or something triggered that somebody didn't identify that, okay, baby girl, we need to find some resources. We need to help you get therapy, do something so she wouldn't be in a situation. So right now she's in there waiting for a mental institution to embrace her. And will they evaluate her? Nobody really knows the case, but she's in there. She's 26 years old. And there's so many cases like that. And so I said, you know what? With the Imam brought to my attention and Sister Rugi, I said, why not? Let's just do a mental health to help bring awareness to the community. And it made me realize, reflect on my life. And I said, wow, I said, my family and my friend circle is getting smaller. And I said, why is my circle getting smaller? And because people having mental issues that I don't know how to deal with. You have friends who have bipolar and, they have their highs and their lows, and I don't know how to communicate. So I pull away, and I don't think that's healthy for both sides if you look at it, because now you just shelter them to be isolated even more because you walked away from them, and then your circle is small, and you're like, wait a minute, she was my friend, but I didn't know how to handle that. So I said, you know what? There's another reason why we need to bring this mental awareness to light so we all can help our family members and our friends and know how to handle certain situations, because I don't want to keep walking around people on eggshells. I'm like, okay, I don't want to push that button. I don't know how I'm going to elevate you or how I'm going to, trigger something, So it is so important that we know the signs and try to help our family member. I had a brother growing up who was back then, you can tell when somebody look mental, have a mental illness, they just look like it. And so my brother had he had a bad heart. He had his blood cells was really processing really low. So he really couldn't communicate with children his age. He can communicate with adults. So he would read the newspaper and he would walk around the streets and everybody would say, hey, Johnny, what's on the news? What's going on? And he would tell you everything you want to know about the news, But anybody his 11-year-old, he couldn't communicate with them. And so back then you can see somebody got an issue, but now you walking down the street, you don't know who got what. You know what I mean? What kind of issues they have. So with that being said, I just would like the opportunity for us to learn more about how we can help our loved ones and not push them away because they have mental illness. I have a dear friend who's a hoarder, and she wants help from me, and I'm not sure exactly how to help because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a clinical licensed person. I don't know how to help you. I just know that yes, you do have an issue because your house is like packed with so many boxes and everything, but she's comfortable with it, but is not comfortable for her on a mental level. If you see her out in the world, you think that she got it going on and everything's fine, but when she closed them closed doors, she's hurting, she's in pain, she wants help, but I don't know how to help her. Unless she's willing to go to a therapist to willing to help her, that's the only way she's gonna get help. And a lot of people don't want to go and seek guidance. You know what I'm saying? So that's where everybody sometimes is so ashamed of saying, hey, I got a problem. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of guts to be able to say, I got issues, I need help. Where can I go to get help? And hopefully, with this monthly program that we're going to do here at the masjid of educating the community about different signs, about mental health, and providing with the resources, and hopefully it allow people to open up and say, hey, you know what? Can I talk to you? You know, is this a safe space? Can I be able to open up and let you know this is the issues that I'm having? What should I do? You know, and I just want to say it's okay. You know, hopefully Masjid will be the home. And when I go to the prisons, I have my books in the prison. I teach the woman to be able to look for love within their self. I teach them on affirmations. I teach them to be able to forgive because a lot of them are hurting. A lot of them are dealing with pain. A lot of them are looking for love. They don't know what love look like. And so that's my role of helping them to try to identify, to love yourself first before you go looking for love. Because when you look for love, you find yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in, and it can cause problems, you know. And forgive me if I'm talking fast, slow it down or anything, but you know, like for instance, I remember being at a job and dealing with anxiety, and anxiety is no joke. And there's different techniques we can be able to help ourselves before we go too far. You know, dealing with mental health, my understanding, I'm not a doctor, but my understanding is unbalanced emotions. You know, something can really happen in your life where it just hits you so hard that you respond fast on it instead of stepping back and analyzing what took place. And for me, I was working at a company and was so overwhelmed, so stressed, where I had to walk away. I knew it was time to walk away. Until it got to a point where I walked into this office and couldn't remember nothing. And I said, okay, you know what? I am on the edge. I'm about to go on the other side if I don't take heed to myself and pay attention. And I had to step back, I had to resign, and I had to walk away from my job. And I was bedridden for 4 weeks and I needed that rest. And it's so important that when something hits you so hard, that you step back, because if you don't step back, you're about to enter in a different zone, and then you wonder why, how do I get here? You know, so I know my time is almost up. We're going to bring Sister Ruby up, but if you have any questions, please, I take some questions now before we bring Sister Ruby up, if you would like. And if anybody is online and they have questions, we maybe have Ibrahim to maybe read the question to us, and then we can share. How about that? Can we do that, Ibrahim? Okay, all right. Anybody have any questions? Anybody would like to share? Yes, Brother Kareem, would you like me to bring the mic to you? Okay. Mhm. To be honest, you know, like I said, I'm not a doctor. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Because you know what, Brother Kareem. First, I want to say thank you very much for being vulnerable and open up to us and let us know about your background and letting us know that you've been going to therapy and therapy has helped. You know, and so hopefully we can in the future have more people to um, open up and say, hey, you know, understand that this is a safe space. We're here to give love and we're here to help our family and our friends to be able to do better. When you ask about that question, I don't have knowledge whatsoever. I'm here to learn just like you. like I said, my circle has got small because of my family and friends, because I didn't know how to handle their situations, you know what I'm saying? And so the best thing for me to do is step back, but I don't want to step back. I want to be able to lend a hand even more. So that's why I'm here, and that's why we all decided to have this program. So thank you very much for sharing. The sister Ruby, she will have a presentation to talk a little bit more about what the county and what the government is talking about on mental health. So it's more of a society. So the society kind of collectively did a research valuation and came up with some results based on their numbers, and so we go from there. Anybody else have any questions? No? Nobody have any questions? Come on. I know we all have family issues. Okay, all right. Okay, we can do that. Okay. So with that being said, if sister might have any questions, let's have Ruby come up, show her presentation of what mental illness is about and what the county is stating to help us to have better understanding, so we can help our family and friends to learn more about mental health. So thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like first to thanks the Masjid al-Sharif, Imam Hafiz and Sister Shameen for inviting the county and the Department of Mental Health and me to come here and give these workshops that's going to be directed to benefit the community. I have to say, Sister Shameen is doing an excellent job that's connecting the community to the services of the mental health through these presentations. So I wish the masjid and the community actually support her a lot, because we need to have, everybody knows about this. The county of LA now have a big mission with the Department of Mental Health to educate every one of us about mental health, to allow us to understand our feelings and the feelings of our loved ones, and have a little bit of understanding why I feel this, why my son or my daughter feels this. And if they feel like this is something beyond their control, how they seek services. So we are reaching out to 5 people at a time. But we want the community, the Masjid al-Sharif, to really promote this, because we want this to be for the parents, to understand their children, their teens, and know what to do with that. Instead of just letting it go, think that it will fix itself. A lot of people think that mental health condition is a state of time, like it's a little bit of time where my son maybe feel this way, my daughter feel this way, maybe I'm a little bit stressed out, and people usually ignore the conditions, ignore the symptoms, and keep living in a life where they are suffering and pain without thinking I can fix this, because either they don't know how to fix it, they don't believe that it can be fixable, and they are living in a stigma where, oh no, this is only for the psycho, this is only for the crazy people. So we're going to help fix this one step at a time. The county wants to educate all of us. About 20 years ago, people didn't care about diabetes. We thought that diabetes is something, I can live with. It turned out to be a very fatal disease. People who with diabetes, they escalate their problems when they have the kidney fail, and then their limbs cut off. And then now, education. The government started to educate people about healthy sugars, food with no sugar, and that's what we're trying to do. The county wants us, all of us, as communities, to come together and normalize therapy, normalize counseling. Going to the psychiatrist is like going to my primary doctor for a fever, stomach ache. A lot of people, they say, oh, it's not me. And above this, the county telling you we have clinics to treat you until you really reach 100% free. They're really making this so easy to the people to know. So they would like you to know if you or your loved one or your children or someone you know suffering from mental issue or disorder. Don't say, because the brother, he said it's 100 something an hour. The county says if you don't have insurance to cover your fees for therapy, we have clinics in the county offers fully free services. Not only this, the county also recognized that because of COVID, the number of people who have a mental issue really escalated. And that's related to financial problems, food shortage, loneliness. They are addressing each one of these factors. And they're trying to tell you each clinic you call right now is going to offer, they have a department of social services. They'll help you with your employment. They'll help you with housing rental and utilities. Make sure that you have enough food. But you have to first take steps. Say, I need to improve. I need to feel better. SubhanAllah, sadly, we have beautiful young people, athletically strong, and young. They have the whole world in front of them. Inside, they have no hope. They let the day go by, sleeping in bed, feeling like this is, I can't go anywhere with this. The sadness, depression is so strong that they don't want to even leave home. Why? Why we know someone in your family or neighbor suffering that much and let it go? Pass by. We want to educate you how to seek mental health services for you, for your family, for your friends, for your neighbors. Why let people suffer like that? Live days and months and living so like they're all about to die or they're just waiting for them to just be pronounced dead. So we're here to educate because eventually what happened is with COVID, we were already living with a stressful life before COVID. Our histories, I'm an immigrant. I came to the United States as a very young person, had to live in a different society, have to learn the language. All this somehow contribute to my peace, my balance, mental emotions, and mental emotions. So having something like COVID with already a history of, of stress and struggle really impacted each one of us at some degree. And some people, they think it's going to go away. It's not going to go until you really take the step and the proper way to lift that mental health conditions that caused us that caused us to be not going back into it. So we're going to start this with the county. The county has a series of workshops, like the Imam said. Thank you very much for how I do. So we're going to start with the stigma. Without the stigma, here it is, on this page. Without removing the stigma, people will be now feeling good. I'm going to go to therapy, and they go. After 2 days, after the next appointment, no, I'm okay. I feel better today, and they go and feel all done again. So we need to understand why there is a stigma in our societies, and I have to tell you, this stigma is in every culture. Like whether we're Hispanics, whether we're Arab, Middle Eastern, African Americans, white, Asian, we all have some stigma that really tells us, no, you don't have to go. It makes you reluctant, makes you don't want to seek treatment. You don't want to be even, people know that you are going to a therapist. And not only this, a lot of people says, I have so much sadness. I feel like we sense that we have something wrong with us, but so shamed, so weak, so stigmatized to tell even my friends. So we need to change that in order for us to bring back the life to these people who are really living in pain. That's what we must do. Okay, so today we're going to learn about what mental health. Quickly. Every human of us have the same experience of emotion when it comes to the title the emotion. If you're happy, we all know how to feel. If we are sad, we all know how to feel sad. If something really happened, if God forbid you just bumped your car or someone hit your car, you had an accident, we all have the same feeling of shock and scaredness and all of this. We all experience the same emotion as humans. but we vary on how to react to that specific emotion, correct? And what dictate my reaction to the emotion is my culture, beliefs, my history, the environment I live in, the society I live in. So each one of us, for example, if I am really having a crisis in marriage and divorce, and my partner is taking action in court and stuff like that, a lot of people feel like anger and they want to escalate the fight with them. And some of them, they want to relieve the stress by drinking, partying. Some of them will end up, oh, okay, I'm going to start a new relationship just to get them off my mind. So they react to this stress by whatever their way of thinking, their beliefs, their culture, what they could do. Some people, for example, have a big, they get fired from a job. For example, if a Muslim and a strong believer, he would say, okay, Allah is the one who opened doors. Allah opened the doors. And allow me to speak of a religion faith, because I believe everybody here is a Muslim, so we can relate to that as something we can relate to in our culture and belief. People say, okay, I believe that Allah has no rizq. Allah is the one who sustains. So if I lose this job, it's not something I contribute to my loss. It just, unfortunately, I lost it. You become incontent and you pray more and you ask Allah for rizq and then you look for it and you believe in your heart. That's belief. That's understanding in your heart. Makes you react to the job loss as, Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. And then we need to, if this person educated, he would know how to seek services to help him in the temporary time until he finds another job to sustain himself. That's because how other people who maybe don't have that kind of belief, don't have that kind of a culture, they will end up angry, going to court, and then they act like, oh, it's the laws. And some people even cannot handle the stress or the shock of being released from their job, and they end up doing other things. So again, the point of understanding mental health is how you react to the status of your emotion. Okay? So, Alhamdulillah, we're Muslims. Alhamdulillah, Islam or religion really contribute a lot to a peaceful state of mind. Because we believe that everything is. And if you go to a therapist, he tells you, go back to your faith, pray more. And if you go to a Muslim therapist, he will come to you and tell you, yes, rely on Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you, and you have, subhanAllah, Allah covered every aspect of our lives. So if we follow the teaching of the Prophet, if we follow Islam, it really contributes a lot to peace. It will really, really bring that stable, balanced way of thinking and your reaction to what happened to this emotion that you experience. And of course, unfortunately, now I'm saying unfortunately, but if people really do not believe or don't have that faith, then they are struggling somewhere. That doesn't make you not able to reach a recoverable. Why? Because I attended a workshop. He said, whatever is halal is legal. Whatever is not halal, maybe it's not legal. So again, we need to react to our emotions that we experience at the moment because of whatever happened to us, according to what's lawful and unlawful, whatever that is good or bad, whatever that is bring benefit to you and not loss. And then you go to the therapist and he will tell you your reaction to this emotion is not helping you. Let me show you how. And the therapist will bring back to you some strategies, some actions you could take in your life that really bring you some relief to what you feel. And instead of relying on maybe your habits, relying on your history. A lot of abused women who lived abused life and saw their parents abused and their wives abused. Subhanallah, the mom abused. Usually, when they get abused themselves, they think this is okay. They take the abuse and they don't address how it feels inside them, and because they feel like this is how I grow up. This is the thing I always experience. So when we go to the therapist, he will try to tell you, is that something humanity accepts? Is that something God accepts, that you be abused and beaten and insulted and humiliated? The therapist will bring back to you the conscience inside you to ask you, to question you, what you do. Is this correct with your religion, with your society, with the morality, or it's not? And then it makes you have that conscience. Because once you have conscience, you are putting yourself in, you bring your foot on the resilience. That resilience is the one who is going to be built up inside you. And that resilience will make you survive and cope with all the stress. That resilience is going to make you stand up again and face your emotional and mental struggles and make you take actions. So that's why we are, regardless if you're Muslim or not, alhamdulillah that we're Muslim. A lot of Muslims still fall into their habits, into their culture, into their family mentality, and that we would not at all according to Islam. In my Middle Eastern culture, the women get beaten up and you need to close your mouth because like they call me, Sister Ruby, my husband just stepped on my head today, kicked my head. I passed out. Call the police. No. How am I going to help you miles away? How am I going to help you miles away? And you cry, what am I going to call him? We can't. It's not going to help. He's going to continue doing that. And her husband needs a lot of mental. So, again, she chose to react to that thing happened in her life according to her culture, into her Middle Eastern mentality that, oh, you have to hush, hush, because you need to be patient because you're going to be rewarded a great time, a great deal if you be patient with a very abusive husband. Again, she's worship. She knows that this is upsets a lot, but she chooses to follow the culture, and that's why we need to break this. Let's go to the next slide and understand from the CDC and the psychiatrist's point of view what is mental health. Mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities to bring back conscience in you, to make you understand this is right or wrong, this is halal, this is help me or doesn't help me. Am I going to be good doing this or not? Why this happened to me or why not? Can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and able to make a contribution to his own communities. Also, mental health, it will be to promotion of well-being, the prevention of mental health disorders, and treatment, rehabilitation for people. So it also comes as an early prevention from having your mental health take you further, until you really stay in bed for hours, don't have energy, don't have the mood to move, or even feed yourself. And you do see people like that. And subhanallah, mental health is that triangle that actually balance everything. If you have proper, a healthy mental health, if you have a healthy mental and emotional, I know the day is stressful. I know that what I'm going to be able to do today. I know that maybe I'm coming into a job where this is really challenging, but because I am balanced, I will be able to organize my life, see my strength, my weaknesses, and address it and fix it if I need to improve, and helps you succeed. This is important. This is an activity just to make you reflect on your understanding of mental health. We can do that together right now. And that let's ask ourselves this question. You agree or disagree? You go ahead and just give your answers. I am afraid of people with mental disorders. I'd like to just recognize people all the time. Who would like to share what was this? Now use a session. You're there, you're gonna score high. Let's do someone who can let's ask ourselves, are we afraid of mental disorder? Is it easy for us to come close to guys was talking to himself and say, do we? Do you have when you have someone, a lot of us just says, oh, just don't talk to them in the morning. They're so grouchy and they're scary. And then you say, and you what do you avoid them, even though maybe you need the car keys they put somewhere last night. Um, Only adults can suffer from mental disorder. Do you agree or disagree? We know that kids also, children, teens. People suffer from mental disorder because they have done something wrong. Some people do think, people think that, yeah, they think that's a punishment from God, or you must be. A lot of people see someone really angry, they say, oh, maybe because the way they brought up, they were a gangster, so they think this. Are you comfortable talking about your mental health disorders with people? Can you tell people, I'm bipolar? And a lot of people don't understand what's bipolar. Go ahead. Okay. I agree. And it's a lot of Muslim people say, I read the Quran, I pray. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah that you are really seeking prayers and reading Quran as a way of comfort. But let me give you an example, because a lot of people don't have a correct understanding. What is therapy? People say therapy, psychotherapy. Psycho is for crazy. No, we're gonna change this psychotherapy to talk therapy, chat therapy. Let me give you an example. We have a person in the community, Muslim community, very active person, a good brother who is doing so much to his community. He's joining the Islamic School PTO. He's in the board of the Islamic Center. He is helping this. He's in ICNA. He's in here. He's in there. And he is honestly on the phone, brother, we need this and that. Okay. And he is starting taking so much exciting feeling and helping. He wants to be rewarded. He wants to be out there to the community. He has fortune. Okay. He goes in the morning to go to work, not enough time to come home and have dinner with his family and go to the masjid, set up whatever, and then tarawih. And he comes home 1 o'clock. One day, his wife needs help. His children wants to see him. Okay. Of course, because he is taking so much things to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's not able to manage this, because he is, sometimes we really, maybe he's excited about what he's doing, and he's taking so much, his agenda, his daily tasks are maybe 23 things. So his wife start like complaining about, you're not here, you need it, I need that. And he says, you don't appreciate it. He's angry at her because he feel like, I'm stressed out. I'm doing so much. Show appreciation. And then she said, you don't love me. And then this is her, it become really tense. And then he is also forced to sleep. If you have 30, if you have 20 things, 5, 6 projects, and how you go sleep? And you go sleep, okay, I have to go brother sleep. In the morning I have to go, oh yeah, check go brush something for the imam. And he doesn't sleep. Stress, happy, wife is not happy. He can't sleep. So he wakes up in the morning and he goes to the brother. I want to put this here. No, let's put it on Omar. No, it's here. What happens to brother Omar? He's stressed out. So I want here. You don't appreciate. He fought with the brother. He's in the board. He's angry at the board. He doesn't feel appreciated by what he's doing with the board because he feels like, oh, I'm doing so much and I need to at least say thank you. Everybody's doing the same. Maybe. What happened to brother Omar? He's angry at the board. He fought with this. His wife is angry. This man, he's gonna he may be in her head saying, why I'm doing all this? That's not healthy. And then his wife really said, that's it. I'm upset. I am mad. I'm going to stay with my parents. He comes home. Where's the wife? The kids, we're spending the weekend. They're going somewhere. I want to spend Eid with them. You're busy. So it becomes like more and more. So what happened at that moment? Omar is not doing everything. Stressed out. Losing instead of gaining. Right? So then the family, of course, from the other side, your husband is not helping you. Where is he spending? Why are you here? And then what happened is it ended up to be in a marriage counselor. Okay? Thank God that the wife was able to go to marriage counselor. She went to marriage counselor. He was a Muslim. He said, come on. Write for me, Omar, after listening to both, what you going to do today? Omar had 34, 35. The therapist looked and he said, where is your children? Where's your wife? What you doing to them? So what happened? When we are not when we go back to that, what is the definition of mental health? To be balanced. You have to balance. So after the therapist helped him how to organize his life, he said, people like you at least have an agenda book, have a journal, have a calendar, write down what you're going to do. And actually, the therapist was able to teach him how to organize his schedule, to organize his time, to be able to put his activity ahead of time. Half an hour for my wife. Sunday we dinner at the in-laws. This is my son's basketball game. This and that. So what happened to Omar? He's doing everything. He didn't even say, "I'm gonna quit the PTO. I'm gonna quit the board. I'm gonna quit the community." No, you didn't have to quit something you're doing so good at, and you love to do, because sometimes you get so over. Sometimes, like Sister Shamin, just take a step back. But I recommend that she left and resigned the job. I think Sister Shamin, she needed a therapist. And she said, yeah, go do the job, fix this, fix that. So Omar started going for walks, enjoying his life, and that is what therapy does. You will have a third person with long years of education how to manage human emotions and daily activities and what you could do when you stressed out. Omar, he needed also to breathe. And that's the first thing the therapist will teach you. He's not going to put you on medication. He's not going to handle you with your guilt. No. He's going to take. Learn to breathe. If you do it now, it makes a huge difference. Just breathing technique, habits, new habits, how to overcome other habits, communication skills. You can talk to your wife. If you're really not feeling good, you're stressed out. A lot of people, especially Middle Eastern culture, he thinks that when he walks home, that everybody has to be shh. Because this is not grandpa's society. You have kids. So this is too. If you are having an experience, if you are a parent with so many kids at home, the father can with a phone call before 10 minutes before he gets home. Hello, my wife, I really had a bad day. I'm really stressed. I had an argument with this guy. Can you guys just keep it quiet? Mom, if we have really a healthy relationship, Mama's coming home if you feel like okay, the older 8 years old, 9 years old son say, Baba, I really don't feel good today. You can talk to your children. I had a rough day. I really have a headache. Can you and your brother and sister keep it quiet, make sure you're the oldest. So this is skills just to makes you express your feelings today to your loved ones instead of keep it in, walk home, act like nothing happened, and then relate it, deal with it with anger. Yeah, shut up. Why? So this is something we can, and that's really, really important. And listen our stress and have support from my. Okay, again. So this is what we think. Are you comfortable to talk about your mental disorder? If the person does not think about mental disorder, it disappears. That's what we all live in. People think I'm stressful for 1, 2, 3, it's 2, 3 weeks. I'm sad. I am not feeling good. They will go away tomorrow. Not feeling better tomorrow. Oh, there's a wedding. Let's go. Sitting like this, everybody's dancing. Go home. Nothing changed. So, by the way, the limit for your sadness and stress and you feel like really down, if it past 2 weeks, they want you to call and see. Okay, if someone is depressed, you should not ask them if they suicidal. This is a lot of people say, if you hear a teenager say, I hate my life, I wish I died, I hate this life. There is no way a healthy teen say, I wish I died. There's something. If you hear your teen or your child say, I wish I died, what's wrong with that? What's going on? What's wrong? What in our culture? You spoil. You instead of really paying attention to that person who said things. It's really very good. Maybe they will not kill themselves because in Islam we do believe that this is very, very, very harm. But I mean that person is so in pain, and we need to help them. Yes, we have to pay attention. At least a lot of people when they express this crying tantrums, especially children, that because the normal child has to be happy, laughing. If you see the child constant tantrum, it has tantrum, upset. No, no. So, what is the word? Um, stubborn or they don't want to cooperate with you. And you know that, and he comes to you. I don't. A lot of people say you are spoiled, and start threatening, and you push that child in this car to take to school. Honestly, if this child say school, that's very good. You need to put whatever in your hands, turn around and say, what's happened? You go to school. And that's happened to my son. Because of this training, I was able to relate to my son. I said to him, I was like, why do you want to go to school? Are you just wasting our time? Let's get out of here. And then I said, what happened? And he said, I don't want to go to school. And he was about to cry. I said, what happened? So he was bullied. He was bullied with a kid really hard. He would take because we have this spinal cord popping out and this problem. So, and I said, what? He said, he hit me with a shoulder. He hit me with a neck like that. You must show your son at that moment, I'm going to take care of that. Shoot stops because that's the only last thing for your child when he's bullied is you to protect me. Do not ignore that. I called this teacher. I said, there was incident report. I CC'd the principal. This kid put like this, your son feel like, I can have some peace. Yes, go ahead, you have a question.
What type of steps do you think they should take as in the county or calling them?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. There is immediate things you have to do because you don't know if my reaction to what he said could escalate how he feels. So I just immediately get closer, try to pay attention. Just show them that I'm paying attention to you. Validate their feelings. Oh, you're feeling this way. Oh, why are you upset? Okay. And if you feel like this person, you can talk to them. I think you need to see someone. If they say no, and you find there's no way, don't rely on this. The county here to tell people there's an access number. There's a mental health department access number. Life counselor will come and he will try to talk to this person, calm them down. If you feel like this is outside of my control, that will you feel like, I don't believe in this. What do? Don't leave until they come. They send something. They do send something. And please take these flyers, this access number here. That's the one that's 7771 at the end. So this is, we need to just keep it in your phone. And honestly, oh yes. Oh, this is yes, there is a 24/7 helpline by the Department of Mental Health of LA County that you can read it. It's a 800-854-7771. And you can call them and they will get you a live counselor on the other part of the phone, of the side of the phone, who can speak to you of what to do in case of an emergency, or even talk to the person that's really not feeling well. And if he thinks really, don't leave that person. If this is going to hurt you, and immediately wait, they're going to bring someone. They bring someone to really talk to this person. If they find that this is really out of control, they call the police, and the police will come to me. All right. This is, will you please pick up one of these flyers? Yes, go ahead, madam. Yes, yes.
Let I use this.
Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Please, on your on the packet that Sister Sharmeen put together for you, if you go open, this is this page. In that package she put for us the mental health department, all clinics, adults and children clinics. And also, and these are free clinics, no charge, and they actually really take the time to make sure that you are treated and fix the problem. They do. Yes. This is a problem. We are actually, what you do, if you know someone who really, a lot of people will not realize that they need mental health services, or don't even realize that they have mental health issues. We recommend at that moment, it depends on the case, if this person really is about to really hurt themselves. I know someone who could be really mentally ill so bad that they don't eat, don't sleep, don't shower for sometimes over a year. So at that moment, if you cannot really take this person and make them seek help, then usually the access number, if you call, they help to what to do. And I said they will have the police intervene to grab. But if you're living with someone who's really, really feeling bad, make an appointment for yourself because you need to know how. That's one thing. Another thing, once you start going to counseling yourself, take them. I have a lot of people says, he's 23. How am I gonna grab him to a counselor? I'm gonna take him to therapy. I said, you must be open with him, sad about him. Make an appointment for yourself. The county, if you don't have insurance, the services in the county free. If you have insurance, call your primary doctor. Make an appointment for you and him, and the doctor will must refer you to the therapist. Yes.
Can I take her first? Yeah, can we switch? Can you put this here on and then we'll pass the mic around to people? Oh, so do you put this on your ear? Put it on your ear. Or you can just hold it.
It's okay. Well, thank you. I feel like I'm what an old person. Well,
Wire shouldn't be that
Yes,
complicated. There you
okay.
go. Then hold on to that.
okay.
Okay, then who has the question? Oh, okay.
My question is, I know a lady, she's older than me, educated, and she has a good life teaching, but she has reacted very badly in this situation. Like you said, she's not balanced in this situation. If anything goes against her wishes or will, she reacts very bad.
Oh.
And she does, whenever I try to talk to her, she said, it's not me. This is the people. This is the environment. This is what is happening. I'm normal. The way I reacted is because of this. She does not realize that is her problem. And because she's older than me, she's more educated than me, I don't know how to convince her to realize the problem and get the step to get treated.
Yes, this is a common problem when we realize that our loved ones or with people we work with need mental health services. The only way, honestly, you can address her condition, if it's a coworker with you, maybe you can talk to the supervisor and the supervisor recommend that to her. They will do an evaluation and they will give her a recommendation. She's retired. I have to tell you, it's a problem, and maybe you can have her come to the workshop. I have to tell you, we need to work together to promote this. If you feel like you really, really want to help this person for Allah's sake, and because you love them and you care about them, maybe you can gather friends and we can come to you with a workshop. You can have a little gathering here at the woman musalla upstairs, and we can come and I can talk to you about mental health and try to bring that to her, that this is what you're doing may not be balanced. That means you have issues, you have anger, you have anxiety, maybe you have other mental condition that cause you to react. And people usually they will eventually get themselves in a lawsuit if they continue behaving this way. And that's also part of what we tell people. You need to make sure you don't put yourself in a situation you do not want to react according to your emotion in a way that cause you illegal stuff or being bullying, and people could take you to court or get you hurt, because some people will not tolerate your temper. They will react. So that's another way to help that person. Give them education, tell them, hey, it's time, here is the services. Maybe that will she say, okay, let me once she get better understanding of what is therapy, why I need it, then maybe she'll make her own call and she will seek that services and mental help, inshallah. Okay.
You know, also I think, like you mentioned, that having people who love her and who really is in her corner for her sometimes can be able to help and sit down and talk to her to see maybe, because sometimes we don't want to go somewhere because we are afraid. We don't know what the outcome is going to be about. You know what I'm saying? But when you have collective people that love and really care and really want to be able to help her, maybe you just say, hey, I'm here for you. We all here for you. If you need a place to stay or whatever your schedule, whatever happens in your life that's going to change your life to make it better, we all are here and everybody's willing to commit to that, I think that may help her decide to say, okay, let me go look and get some help.
To her about this and take to the group of the people, they are all educated, they can understand. She stopped talking to me. She said, you do not understand. Since you have a happy life, you don't know what I'm going through. And I'm good. I'm inside. I'm okay. I'm balanced. This is the things happening around me. This is not me. And you don't understand. You blame me. And I always say, I do not blame you. I just want to understand and make you understand. But she gets mad at me.
You know what? I understand. I have somebody just like that. You know, it's like no matter what you say, they think is somebody else and it's not them. And that part, I don't know how to. I'm like you. I'm kind of stumbled. Don't know how to reach you to understand. Hey, no, it's not them. It's you. And I don't think there's enough support or community service that's willing to be able to help us to say, how do we fix this problem? You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. So hopefully maybe we can work together, and other people who's listening, maybe they can find a solution to help us, because I understand exactly where you at. She has another question.
I was going to ask about if maybe you have a support group for, because there's a lot of older people in our community, and we have families that are dealing with Alzheimer's, which is a form of mental illness. You can't directly go to the person that has Alzheimer's, but you need to go to their families and have a support group for their families to give them the resources so that they can deal with their families. And since we're in an aging community, we need a lot of support in that.
That's a good approach. Another way is if someone really diagnosed officially or medically by Alzheimer, usually the primary doctor, they have a list of programs that they can help that person. You can request. You need to be in. Alzheimer is a disease that has certain symptoms. We cannot just ourselves figure out that I can take care of that symptoms. Usually people with Alzheimer, they have security problem. They forget who we're with. They always think that the person, if they forgot who is, a threat to them. So they end up reacting aggressively. And maybe your friend, if she's older and retired, maybe she has Alzheimer. And then her family members have to address that with her primary doctor. The primary doctor usually refer her to a psychiatrist, because there's a whole list of things the psychiatrist will do with the Alzheimer that's beyond our ability as a family. We can come as a support as a family, but they put them in the medication. The medication itself makes them depressed, very depressed sometimes. They go into a lot of depression as a part of symptoms of Alzheimer. So there is no cure for Alzheimer. It's just lifestyle. Maybe you can encourage her to be more active, learning a language, learning a music instrument. Maybe you can go for a lot of physical activity. They really do. Patient of Alzheimer is really, really a disease that really, sadly, really the human slowly deteriorate mentally and physically. But your support is to be having them getting engaged. And again, it depends on the stage of Alzheimer's. If they're really advanced, it is really the experience they forget. I forgot who is this lady, and then they always feel defensive. They always feel insecure. Who I am. People imagine forget where they at and where are we going and who is this person. So the best thing is always address their condition symptoms with the primary doctor. Have the primary doctor exactly diagnose their condition, and please request, I need to get her engaged. A lot of the seniors, if they have Medicaid, they are eligible for adult daycare. Adult daycare, get them engaged in a lot of activities from this hour to this hour. They pick them up, they take them shopping, they take them movies, they have a day at the restaurant. She will have people with her, but with professional monitoring, professional people who can handle if something can escalate. So it's good to always talk to the doctor. What out there for my relative condition that really help her listen the effect of Alzheimer on her, because it's gonna ask.
I have a question for you. Because you're going around and you're sharing about mental health and different categories of mental health, do you know if the county is working on something that will trigger each diagnose of whether they're dealing with anxiety, have a group that the community or the county is bringing people together who's dealing with anxiety and offering different suggestions, because not everybody's so willing to contact their primary. Not everybody's so willing to say, hey, let me go to this here doctor or go to this therapy. But if there was something that the county is calling on, a group of people in different communities that's dealing with this element and seeing how they can help them and being open to it, I think that'd be something beautiful. Do you know if they're working on something like that?
And anxiety, again, it depends on the mental health condition symptoms.
I just use anxiety as an
Yeah,
example.
an example. A lot of people who feel with the mental health condition, they seek the clergies, they seek the imams. They come to you thinking that you're going to give the formula that's going to fix it for them. So actually, the county is doing training for the imams and the clergies that you can join, at least to tell you what to do if someone comes with this or this or this. And usually, I have to tell you, we appreciate a lot. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that really handle different mental health condition or what contribute to that. One of them I met here in LA is the domestic violence. She has an organization. She does this. She counsels. She therapies. But she said, I only take domestic violence. What I'm trying to say is usually she cannot go beyond domestic violence because she knows she has a limited resources. And we are fortunate to be in the United States, and more fortunate, LA County actually. Social services is always the biggest and the best supporter to people who need different social services, because individually you can help one time, two times, three times. You have people sometimes come to you asking for donation. I want rent assistance, I want this utility assistance. And if you notice, honestly, if this person come one time, two times, three times, living in the United States and LA County, that means they have something in them. Why? Because LA County, they tell you, come, if you need assistance, come, we'll give you food. You need help, a rental assistance, we'll help you. Especially Long Beach, they have a very nice rental assistance program now, and they pay 100% of your rent. If that person tells you, okay, I'm an adult, I am a full grown-up person, find a job. If you can't find a job, there is an agency in LA County that's really for unemployment, just to find you a right job that suits your education, your skills, your ability. So we need to seek these services because they are well funded. They are actually will continue support. So it is always good to be knowledgeable of the social services and the mental services that's offered in the county. Yeah, you know? Yes. So.
Assalamu alaikum. My question is sort of what Charmaine asked about someone who is talking about suicide, but they're not manic. They talk about it off and on. I have a young lady that calls me, and her son is constantly talking about suicide. And she called me because I lost 2 daughters. And so that tells me I don't. So she calls me because since he consistently talk about it, and he will not go get help, but her daughter is a licensed psychologist. And like Charmaine asked, what do you do? Because they're not manic all the time, or they just talk about it. So referring them to someone is out, or you can, but they're not going to go. I have a daughter that would refuse to go. So what do you do when they won't go? One of my daughters decided to go later. The other one decided to go after we lost this one. And then it should be some type of serious follow-up.
Yeah.
Not just 30 days after, not 60 days out. I'm thinking a year later, somebody should be following up with these people because they do need help. Like, they're sick.
Yeah, yeah. It could be a lot of the mental health is genetics. People inherit their ancestors' mental disorders, and some of them medication, some of them like trauma. A lot of reasons for mental health. Honestly, if someone tells you, let them vent out. Tell them, I hear you. Okay. Yes, you want to come over? Can I come over and take something with you? Go and talk to them. At that moment when you're there, tell her, look, I know how we can fix it. I know how you feel. I know someone we can talk to that really can tell us how you feel better. If she feel like, because inside her she says, help me. But the stigma is so strong. The stigma is so strong that people say, I am a psycho. We imagine someone tells you, imagine when you are talking to someone, he say, hey, you need to go to a therapist. What is immediately hits you? Why? And then you feel like, doubt yourself. Oh, yeah, am I really showing anger too much? And then maybe people maybe need the mental help, maybe they're not, but itself saying, you're a you need a therapy. It's like you cursed them or you really characterize them with God knows what in mind. Our advice is call the access number, because on the other line is someone who experienced on how to reply to the people when they say, I feel this, I feel that. They have years and education, years of experience and years of education. I have to tell you, nobody becomes a psychiatrist until he goes through a lot of courses, a lot of training, a lot of money spent. And they must have solutions, at least calm you down, at least not like this fix, but anyway, so keep that access number in your contact. And when people call you, connect, make a 3-way call. Tell her, okay, hold on. I tell you, I found out someone really could help in this. Don't worry, she's really good at it. And let people normalize therapy. If we start saying, she talks, I tell her, oh, God. Even if you lie, say, oh, I go to a therapist. Oh, it's so good. They told me what to do. I feel I'm changing inside. I feel good about myself. And even if you do this, my daughter, she suffers in anxiety. Sometimes she gets severe panic attacks. When she realized I'm learning this and I'm doing this, she started accepting the idea. Oh, I can go to a therapist. And now she's making appointments. She wants to learn how to calm her anxiety. Some people might need medication, but nobody could force you to take a medication until you really realize I need it. So a lot of therapy has nothing to do with medication. People are afraid to take a medicine and be hooked on it and addicted to it. There's techniques, breathing, communication, just imagine you could fix your child emotion at the moment by just learning how to properly talk to them. That we need that because culture and media and how we grow up makes us lose how we speak now, how we could give compassion gesture. How we imagine you be talking to someone and they're hi, bye, and how you feel. It's like eye to eye. Listen, act like you're understanding. People sometimes, when people talk about their problems, they give you this look. This is a devastating look. If you want to cut it short, and because they talk, and let them talk, tell them, look, we need to talk. Can we do this tomorrow? I'm afraid. Let's go for coffee. Enjoy your time. You're going out for coffee, you're listening to someone. Maybe that moment you say, hey, yeah, this is important. I'm going to go out with you for coffee. We're going to listen, we talk. She just said, you validated her feeling. That validation is a little bit of support. People want just to say, I understand what you feel. I'm sorry. I pray for you. People really, just that's what they need. So we even lost that kind of a little communication among us. And when you go to a therapist and family therapist, it's so much recommended. Imagine One family, they hate each other. They hate the mom. They hate the dad. You will interact with your family. He's my enemy. She's my. Imagine. And then the therapy, it does help. Yes, go ahead, Charmaine. You have it.
A question for you. Based on what Aisha's question was to you, and you recommend that we contact that number, have you had any experience from somebody who did contact that number, and what was the results? What does the person get when they dial that number? Will they be sent to a mental institution to do evaluation because they saying that I want to commit suicide? Because I know that someone who took some pills and they was hospitalized, and because they had to pump their stomach out, they end up automatically send you to a mental institution. And so I'm just curious, those who's listening here, because there's a lot of people who are saying that they want to commit suicide, and as we know, there's more and more people are committing suicide now. So I'm just asking you, what is the process that people will look or will receive if they make that telephone call?
They will have someone online on the phone, and they're gonna ask certain questions. The answers will make the counselor reply what's the next step you need to make. One of the best thing that's really good sign is they made the call. This is a big step, because if I felt I'm losing it, and a lot of people feel like they want to go crazy, they're gonna lose their mind. If they have the strengths to pick up the phone and say, hi, I feel this way, then this is it. This is a help. They will get help, because that person on the other line, he will take them one step at a time he's gonna tell you, calm down, take a breath, follow me. And he has a way, they usually have expert people of telling you, breathe, open a window, or look at something nice. Do you have a plant? Look at the plants. Go wash your face. What's the sunnah? When you feel that? Make wudu. Wash your face. If you're standing, sit up. If you are laying down, if you're standing, sit down. Wash your face. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. We can really address that in our daily classes here. We can address in the khutbah. It's very important to remind people. People forget. So that's for your answer for that question. It depends on what's that person on the other line saying, but these people are expert. They will take you one step at a time to get you to a level where you're stabilized a little bit. If they realize that that person really suffering from something severe, and they might really end up doing something wrong to hurt themselves or others, or really cannot be left after we hang up, they will bring somebody.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Hope I can remember my question. About the brother Omar. Okay, he was a devoted Muslim
Yeah.
with his family on the board, da 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 da. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and I paraphrase, the best man is the one that's best to his wife. So he should have, from the beginning, put his wife first. Okay, but he got together. My second thing is, I've been in mental health. Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health for since 2003 or 4, whatever. Okay, and I turned out. Okay, because I'm a veteran, they go on income and there's a cap. So once I hit over $3,000 a month, and then I was working, I was getting $4,000 or $5,000 a month. They said you're gonna have to pay, and it's so high. But since I'm a veteran, at 100%. Service connected, everything is free. So I don't have to pay anytime, anything. All I gotta do is call the Veteran Crisis Hotline, and just like you said, with the Department of Social Services, the biggest in the county, somebody's always there to answer the phone.
Yeah.
The other thing is my son, he was 29, and his mom died 10 years ago. She was mental health patient, now he's suffering from it, and I'm like his therapy assistant. He calls me 2 or 3 times a day, and sometimes I can't take it, and I don't take his call, right? Because I can only take so much. You know what I'm saying? So I give him the love of a father, but I can't give him that mother stuff that he needs. So what is your recommendation? Then the other thing is that he doesn't want to go to counseling. Okay. And one last thing for you is when you call the veteran hotline, they actually like 2 or 3 questions. Are you suicidal? Do you plan on hurting yourself
yeah.
or somebody else? And then what the sister was saying, that if you call and you tell them that you got all these symptoms, they can place you under 72 hours of observation, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. As I said, it depends on how he replies to the certain questions that they ask that person. I'm not sure what are the questions, but they are really trained to really have a, they have a ladder, a scale. They have a scale. If you say yes, no, then they will mark where you at and what is exactly I need to do right now. So they do that. They follow the scale to detect what kind of next situation we need to do, what's the next action that the council or the department need to do, or they could talk to the police. But a lot, as I said, once you really realize that I have a problem and I'm gonna have to call, that's the biggest step. And this is what we need to normalize. Call to make an appointment. If you have lost loved one, you cried first week, second week, third week, fourth week, it's an alarming. Because they, according to professional people, psychiatry and medicine, the human body has the ability to accept and the mind has to accept. If you're stuck and you're not accepting and you're not overcoming all these symptoms, then something went beyond. If you are imbalanced, you need to seek help. You need to talk about it. You need to address it. And once they pick up the phone and they do, then we succeeded. Because, like you said, nobody can take an adult to a psychiatrist. And some therapy is not 1 time, 2 times. It could go for months. They need to feel like, I need this, and I go. And this is what we need. And that has to do to change stigma. We need to change stigma because stigma itself really, really is the big obstacle. The county tells you, you want a free service? Here it is. You want, if you feel like what really, really you think that what's really causing you to be really, really upset about the world around you, no job, here's a job. You have your kids hungry, you think they're hungry, no food, here, call us and we'll give you more, we'll give you a debit right now. Would you just go buy whatever you want? And that's what the county did. They're trying to take everything that could make you feel like, oh, my life, COVID, one job, my kids. And they tell you, even if you call these clinics, the mental health, and you tell them, I have backache, just backache won't go away. They will make you an appointment with a medical clinic and address and find out what's going on with your back. Again, it's free. So they're trying really to solve all these. SubhanAllah, Prophet Muhammad said, there's 3 things if the human have, he has the whole dunya. And that's food. Your food, your shelter, you have your peace, nobody out there, no bombs coming. And you have your health. He's at like a dunya, the whole dunya you have it. 3 things. And that's what the county said. You want food? Here it is. You want medical attention? Here it is. You want, you feel like unsecured? Come. Because we are really peaceful. We live in peace, alhamdulillah, compared to other countries. And God knows what they experience. So they're trying really to bring back the life to this county. They're trying to fix all the society problems from the root bottom, where the homelessness, the addiction, all this all goes to mental health. So they're out there talking for this, and they hire people. I have 300 people like me going to their communities, door to door, masjid to masjid, church to church, organizing. Tell people, hey, the help is here. Just make the call. Go ahead. Anybody? Somebody raise hands. Yes.
Address the 3-day observation. Like, I don't want to be like the devil advocate, but I could call the veterans person and say, look, I'm suicidal. I'm thinking about hurting myself. What are they going to do? That's what I'm gonna get you. Can you kind of address that?
I honestly didn't get that part of what's going to happen next. But I know for sure that if they have a line for veterans to call about suicidal, by the way, one of our workshops coming up, inshallah, is suicide prevention. We all going to learn how to handle a suicidal kind of threat right now. So maybe we can keep coming and invite other people to come. We're gonna learn all this together. And please, whatever material or information we give you, share with others. If you have usually the easiest way for me to communicate, and Sister Shami maybe with us, if you have a WhatsApp group that you really connect with your community members to announce Eid, to announce, you can add us. And when I receive, like, for example, information from the county, we are the first one to receive before the media can announce to you Medicaid changes or services such and such. I can share with you because my supervisor wants us to get us we are connecting you with the county, let you know what the county is doing, take advantage of these services. A lot of the minorities, communities, they have less information, less services, because less advocacy. They don't advocate for this because they're not aware. They're not aware, and then they have also so much stigma. A lot of this maybe language barrier, a lot of them culture. I have to tell you, the Middle Eastern, they usually don't trust that the government do this or they're forming this, and then you need to change that. So we need to connect with the county and let us come and help Charlene. She's doing this for everyone by you tell your friends, let's go Saturday, we have this, we're gonna, and bring food. Next time we're gonna make potluck. People love the food. Go ahead.
So I had a previous coworker who was suffering from mental illness. He called in. They asked him the simple questions of, are you planning on hurting yourself? Is there a firearm within reach? Is there knives within reach? And he said, yeah, I want to hurt myself. They sent the volunteer police patrol. So it wasn't an officer with a firearm. They sent a volunteer police officer. They escorted him to the hospital, and they did set him on a 72-hour hold for evaluation. And that's when they got him help and connected him with a therapist. After 72 hours, they released him, and now he's on constant connection with a therapist. So,
Inshallah, nice. Okay, just because Dhuhr is coming, we have like another 5 minutes. I don't know what happened. Do you think it's just by remote need to change the channel?
Maybe at this point, maybe we could just kind of just
Yes.
ask them questions.
Yes. I need 2 more minutes. The most important thing, we need to understand that we need to build our resilience. One of the way to overcome stress, depression, and a lot of mental disorder is you are going to think about my resilience. How I am going to build resilience in me and my family. If you fail, if you feel like I'm doing everything I can, and I still feel like the world experiences I'm living, the busy life, the stress at work, punching you here and there, and you really feel like, I have to tell you, myself, when I have some confrontation with my daughter, and I'm just a little bit like this, in my mind, I forgot about it, but my body is not. My body feels like tired, like I'm sad, and I say, I'm in my mind, because my resilience is really weakening, and we need to understand how I can build my resilience to keep me standing when the bunches comes around us. 2 years ago was COVID. Now we have inflation. Now the gas prices. Now we hear people say, "Oh, things are not getting any better very soon." So how are we gonna build? First of all, you have to always be honest with yourself. If you don't feel good, your mental is tired, admit that. I don't feel good. And try to do something that really makes you have that strength. That's one thing. Another thing, ask yourself, okay, what I can do right now to make myself happier, to make me get up. I have 3 kids, they're hungry, I have a dirty house, the dishes. I need to get up. So you need to at the same time say, maybe I need to relax. Let me read something, watch something, breathe. A lot of people will say read Quran, make dhikr. إحنا Muslims, subhanallah, I made this into a habit in me that every time I am really, let's go, we're late for school and you are in traffic. So that feeling, I do it this way. خلاص, I keep it in my mouth. And then another one, اللهم صل على محمد, اللهم صل على محمد, اللهم صل على محمد, اللهم صل على محمد, استغفر الله. I feel like my brain, and it becomes a habit. Every time I'm like, yeah. Another thing, I focus on my breathing. So you have to come up, train yourself from now on to adopt healthy things that makes you have resilience. Another thing, community support. Please, when I came here, when I came to Long Beach after locked up for so many months with my child, I have 11 years, I want to come bring him to a community, a class to see kids. No, nothing better for us Muslims than the masjid. We need to come to the masjid. I tell everybody, every Isha, take your kids to the masjid. Because you see other people bringing the masjid. It's a like end of the day trip. Going to the masjid, pray with mom and dad, and even you bring them with their pajamas. Let these kids read Quran, the spirit of Salah. You see other people, maybe after you finish prayer, stop at the ice cream, get something. But you must always create to yourself a connection to your community. And for us Muslims is the mosque. People has to come to the mosque. People has to have activity in the mosque. People has to learn. Look at how beautiful Eid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from our within religion practice, we are always connecting. Once a week, we must pray Jum'ah. Subhanallah, can you believe that? That is ordained on us to be in a community setting, doing together something. A lot of people eat and food and high and say, subhanallah, connection with the community is very important. Last thing, you have to create a purpose for you. Understand within your religion, what's your purpose? We're created to love Allah. And through our worship of Allah, we show love to Allah. Allah created us because He loves us. And when we love Allah and worship Allah, we love back. And that makes what each one of us, you until the end of time, until the end of day, last your days, you have a purpose. A lot of people say give up. They give up. They say, I'm old. I'm burdened on my kids. What I'm going to do to them? I wish I die. No. Your kids need your dua. Did you know that nobody in this world maybe pray for your kids except you? And you know, every time you live, you are breaking dua to your kids because no one make dua for them. Make dua to your children. Give them wisdom give them love. I want to, until today, I'm 50, and until today, when I have so much, the world beats me up, I wish I can go say to my mom, this happened to me, and she's 77, and I don't think she can do anything, but that feeling. So we need to always live the purpose of our lives. If you feel like I have no value, I have nothing to do in my life, no. A lady was so depressed. She felt like she lost her husband, and she felt like, what am I living for? I said, bake cookies and give it to the homeless. And she took it seriously. She started making banana bread, wrap them up, and goes to the church who feed the homeless once a week. And now they call it Nora's banana bread. And she's happy, and everybody, Nora. She felt like so have a purpose. We need to make one last thing. The purpose for us is to spread love. This earth has so much hate, so much anger, so much discrimination, so much people just angry, hateful to one another. We Muslims, we have to be the people who spread love. We need to figure out how I'm going to show love, how I'm going to exchange love with people, how I'm going to walk on earth and people see us as the red heart. Why? Why not? Because this is what Prophet Muhammad was. Allah sent him mercy to mankind. We are the messengers of the messenger. we can be the heart moving on earth. So if we have no purpose, do create a purpose, we should today be the love messengers. Go ahead.
This came to me, okay? I said, as we all know as Muslims that Allah, the island, to heaven, last third of the night. So they say if you want your, if you're not waking up thinking to hatch you with the last third of the night, then you don't really want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you. So if somebody got an illness, you got a family member that got mental health. When you are in the prostration, which is sajda, with your head down on the ground, you can ask Allah in whatever language. If you don't know Arabic, you can say English and beg Allah for help. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one that can actually cure you of something like this. Right? So when you were speaking, I've been here since you first started, this came to me, so I just want to let you know that in the last third of the night, when to catch you, when you're in prostration, beg Allah, whatever.
Yes, this is beautiful to wake up. I wake up just really early, just to be alone from all the family, have my coffee and read my Quran peacefully. So if you really feel, take it this way as the third. Subhanallah, if you look at how Islam, Allah divided the day, He gives you the perfect time clock. Wake up in the morning, take care of your business. Allah, through our religion, organize our lives to minimize a lot of stress for us. We can go back and learn again. The masjid teach you. The community, the Muslim community connects you. We refresh. This is maybe something you already know, believe in. But maybe my job today is to just remind you, just to spread reminders among us. We are here together learning from all of each other. I learned from your experiences. I have used what I know. I learned from what you know. So this is beautiful to continue like that. Inshallah, we also continue in that. Thank you for sharing your. Go ahead.
Alhamdulillah, sister. Thank you for coming today.
No, my pleasure. Alhamdulillah. I'm
And
glad you're here.
sharing with us from an Islamic perspective about mental health. There's a lot of sisters that might have come today, but maybe they had something else to do. And so we'll add you to the sisters app
Yes.
so that perhaps anyway
Yeah.
we can all connect. And
Yeah,
this is
and
the
a
way-
lot of
way we
information
start.
comes digitally.
And we'd like to thank you and
share.
thank you.
Yes, thanks, Sister Shameen. She actually put up this together, connected us. Thank you so much, Sister Shameen. I will give her all the support, and I ask all of you to give support to her because she's doing a wonderful job connecting this to the community, and what she's doing with in jail and prison is beautiful too. Sister, how are you, Mike? You have anything to share with us? Be quiet. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Sister Rugi. Imam, thank you very much for the opportunity. Can we give our Sister Rugi a hand, please? Alhamdulillah. Thank you. And
Thank you for all of you.
yes, and now that we get ready to wrap it up, I just want to leave a closing. Sister Rugi was right on point about purpose, having a purpose. If you know your purpose, or if you're striving to trying to figure out your purpose is the number one reason why God, Allah woke you up every morning. And once you understand that purpose, it gives you that drive of want to be happy, have that joy, that peace, and that harmony because you know you have a purpose. So with that being said, she mentioned that as well. And then also I want to say that our body heals its own self. Our body gives us signs. It's so important for us to understand and how to read our body and read the language. You know, sometimes we go into anxiety. I always say, when my son was like, "Oh, I'm going through anxiety," I say, "Okay, you're out of your alignment. Get back to where you're comfortable at for right now because you're going somewhere that you're not supposed to be." And it reminds me of the ocean. When the ocean is calm, everything's at peace. But when you start to get out of that alignment that God has for you, that's when the waters start to bumble, you know, and start doing this rippling and everything. So it's so important to be in your alignment, and that is your body communicating with you. You know, a lot of aches and pains that we have is about maybe the food that we eat, changing our diets, you know, exercising. That changes a lot of the chemicals in the body to help us feel much better. So I leave that with you guys today. Thank you very much for coming out. If you have any questions, Sister Rugi be here. Inside the pamphlet, we have a lot
Yes,
of information that will help.
This is
that
very
benefit
nice.
you to share with your families, telephone numbers that you can reach out. Also, I let the sisters know in the community, in the prison, if they need to reach me, they can reach contact the masjid, come to the masjid. If you need help and any support, if you want to collaborate on this journey with us of reaching out to more people in the community about, families having suicidal issues and they don't know what to do. And if you got expertise or you can help us, by all means, we'd love to welcome you all. So with that being said,
Remind them of the
Assalamu alaikum.
next time, next workshop.
Yes, and inshallah, we have a next workshop in June 11th. We'll be posting it on the website, the Facebook,
Anxiety
Instagram,
disorder.
put it on the website. And I'm sorry, one more moment.
It's going to be about anxiety disorder, how we
Okay.
deal with anxiety.
Sorry, it's going to be about anxiety
Just want to
disorder.
remind you before.
Inshallah. So thank you very much for coming out. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.